My name's Matt Buck. I'm the co-founder and engineer at a company called Voxable here in Austin. And I want to talk to you all about how you can give your app a voice. That's what we specialize in at Voxable, giving voice to your product. And what we're talking about there is actually giving a voice interface to your product. This is something that a lot of people haven't considered, but recent advances in the industry have made this something that's more delightful than frustrating. The scales used to be tipped a little bit in the opposite direction, but no longer the case any longer. So if you want to get in touch, you should do that here, and we would love to talk to you about how we could either add a voice interface to your existing web application, maybe create a companion Echo or Amazon Echo skill. So why should you think about adding voice? Well, it gives you a chance to use some of the new web APIs. So a lot of folks may not be aware, but there are web speech APIs. These are enabled by default in Chrome. They're behind a flag in Firefox. And they're actually APIs for both speech recognition and synthesis. And adding a voice interface really gives you the opportunity to delight your users. If you think about it, every time you sit down to use an application, it starts with an intent that you have in your head, right? I want to do this thing. And then you kind of fish around in the interface and you see if you can figure out how to do that thing by clicking around, or you could just allow your users to kind of say what they want to do and get a response. And it really gives you the opportunity. I mean, as an engineer, nothing I have done has made me feel more like a wizard than working with voice interfaces. I can walk into my living room and say that I want the TV to turn on. So I just speak my will into the air, and then I have it become manifest before my eyes. That's magic, y'all. That's what magicians do. And it's going to give you a chance to be a part of the future. I really feel like this is the next major paradigm shift in technology. Ubiquitous voice interfaces are just going to become more and more part of our lives, and now is the time to get on board. Okay, so let's show you what I'm talking about. So I decided to pretend that Spree Commerce, which is an open source e-commerce application, had hired me to add a voice interface to their product. Let me embiggen this somewhat. There we go, that's visible. So I decided, in looking around here, we've got this list of orders that have come through on my e-commerce application. Let's say, let me reload this real quick. Cool. So let's say that I wanted to, I can see one thing, we've got orders in various states. Maybe I want to filter by the type of order. Show me completed orders. Cool. So I had an intent in my head. I wanted to only see the completed orders. I clicked this handy little button down here. I said what I wanted, and I got an answer. So I could have, seen, oh, well, there's a filter, and okay, status, and I can kind of, type in there if I'd like or select one. Or I can just say what I want. Now, users, of course, are finicky. They're going to phrase things in lots of different ways. So what if I said something like, filter by canceled orders? Cool. So I phrased it in a slightly different way, but it still understood what I was talking about. So let me show you how we're pulling this off. So first of all, I'm using a library called SpeechKit. Yeah, congrats if you understand the reference there. So SpeechKit is what gives me this handy little interface down here for enabling the web speech API. You can see it also gives me some, some nice help text if I would like it. But then the real magic comes from this platform called api.ai. So this is a natural language understanding platform. It also does speech recognition, but as I mentioned, since you can use the speech recognition web API, that's probably going to give you a better experience since you're actually doing that client side. So the first thing you need to do when you're understanding speech is you need to try to define the intent of the user. What is it they're trying to do? So let's say they're trying to filter by status. So right here in the interface, no code required. I'm just specifying a few different ways that a user might phrase that. Show me the status orders, show me filter by, and then the entities, or what's actually going to be pulled out of that speech. So I can say, I've got a couple of states defined here, canceled, and then I can also specify some synonyms. Like, they might say stopped. For complete, they might say completed or finished. And so doing that actually allows me to handle a wide variety of speech. And you can see I've also got this filter orders by date. So this is where things get even cooler. So using api.ai, I can kind of use this built-in entity, which is just going to allow me to kind of pull a date out of the phrase that I speak and hand that back to me in an actual date-time object. So let's see what that looks like. Go back to the full list of orders. Show me orders created before last Friday. Cool. So we can see there it's filtered it down to only 2 orders, and just to prove that this is in-camera trickery. Show me orders created before last Wednesday. Awesome. All right, so once again, I could have gone in here, gone through the filter. Oh, everybody loves dealing with these, right? Okay, I'll click on that, and then I click. So yeah, I mean, maybe I just saved my user 7 clicks. What's 7 clicks? Well, if that's something that I do 1,000 times over the course of a year, that's 7,000 clicks, right? We're engineers. We have to think in the aggregate. The code for this is actually up on GitHub right now. You can check it out, github.com/voxablelab. And get in touch. You can check us out, howdy@voxable.io. Thanks a lot, y'all.
Well done. Well done. That was magic. Oh my God.